Okay, so I'm going to be doing another interesting video today. Specifically on first fuel economical uh, smaller Peugeot cars. So today we are comparing or in this video we comparing 206 and the 301. I know say people will be how come two of them are not the same size? Yeah, it'll be interesting uh, by the end of this video why I decided to do this comparison. Okay, so 206 is a small hatchback um, vehicle, but then you could say there are other versions of it or body type. We have okay, I'm going to show you, but by standards they are just made to be hatchback. Then other options are there as well. So we have five door hatchback. This is the front view. The production actually started 1998. Then at some point it was facelifted, but it wasn't necessarily noticeable. I think it stopped in 2012 or so. Um, so yeah, basically you could say 1998 to 2009. Then there was another kind of facelift which ended around 2012. So this is the rear view for the five hatch door. Um, let's look at so this is the coupe version. This is a three-door version. Um, then okay, so this is the convertible CC. So this one, the roof, we can open the roof, which is electronically controlled. So I think it has a manual override too, but I can't remember. I've never tried to do that manual override, but I think it has. Okay, so that's for the convertible. Then this is the station wagon or estate, basically station wagon. So um, these ones they are not really that common. Most time, what you usually see is the hatchback, the convertible, the CC. Then this one they also available. People usually don't go for them, no, but they are there if you want them. Then um, then this is the saloon or sedan. They are there too, but for some reasons, the people don't look for them or seek for them. But then they were not assembled or sold in Nigeria from new. The only ones you find new in Nigeria um, during the time they were being produced, they are basically only this, the five door bar. I'm not even sure they did the coupe. I'm not sure they did the coupe. So it's only the five door hatchback that they produce. So because of that, even those importing focus more on this because of the demand. So as for the sedan, I don't know which country this model was marketed. Um, could be Europe, Latin America, Asia, I don't know. So, but at least now you know there's such car. If you are in Nigeria and you want it, then you have to import one. I'm not even sure. To be honest, I haven't even seen one in Nigeria on the road. So, okay. Let me reduce some of these. So they do come in various engines. We'll talk about the engine later. Just want to drop this before I drop this up. So let's look at this particular one. So this is the last facelift of 206. This one was I think it was 2008 or 2009 that they did 206 plus, as you can see here. Look at it, 206 plus. So personally I like this one more than uh the conventional 206. I like it. It looks much better. I think this was more like migration to 207. So but if I even this one looks better to me than the 207. So I do like it. Let me see, look at the front view. So this is it. I mean, to be honest, I like this one more than even the standard 206 and 207. Yeah, it has a 206 size, but then an improved look, just similar to 7 headlights. It just looks better. It just looks better. So even the rear view, wow, that's even the one that makes sense. And they even have simpler engines. So let's talk about the engines anyway. Um, so I'm going to bring up some of them. So there are quite a number of petrol engines. So we won't be discussing diesel engine in 206. I don't know about them. So, but for the petrol, there are quite a number of them. I don't know how many, 5, 6. So I know they have a 1.1 liter engine, um, which is usually looks like this. The thing is, with 1.1 and 1.4, they all look alike. Um, they look alike. I'm talking about TU1JP, TU3JP, and TU3A. They basically look alike. There will be some slight differences, but looking at it from here, it's going to become very confusing. But I think that 1.1, the TU1JP, is a 1.1 liter petrol engine. I think this is how the intake manifold looks like. I always remember this. So unless I'm mistaking it with TU5JP, it usually looks like this. Could be wrong. But anyway, I do know that the on the V, if you want to know the vehicle, which engine it has, let's assume the engine is same factory, they've not changed it and put 1.4 liter engine since they look alike. You want to know, you will have to check the VIN. You see the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th character on the VIN will be HF, HFX, HFX, yes, HFX. That's the 6th and 7th, the 6th, 7th, and 8th character on the 1.1 liter VIN. The power, how much? Power is 60, I think it's 60 horsepower. Yeah, I think it's 60 horsepower. Torque, not so sure about the torque, but the power is 60 horsepower for the 1.1 liter engine. So now that's about it for now. So let's see. So let's look at the 1.4, the common one, because quite a number of them, they can be very confusing, like I said. So this should be the 1.4 liter engine. The reason why I'm suspecting this is, like I said, they all look alike. It's the intake manifold, that's the common shape. I know the 1.4 width. and then 1.4, they do come with at least most of the ones I've come across. I'll remember to check. Their oxygen sensors are bolted on the exhaust manifold. The upstream oxygen sensors are bolted on the exhaust manifold. So that's one of the. But like I said, you could be surprised. Some people might change the engine and use the accessory of. They change the engine of 1.1 and use the accessory of 1.4. So it can be confusing sometimes. Maybe one day I'll be able to identify by paying attention to know which one is 1.1 and which one is 1.4. But just that 1.1 is not really that common, you know. So this 1.4 is 75 horsepower, 120 Nm torque. So the character on the VIN to identify it, K6D. There are two of them, K6D and KFW. Yeah, K6D and KFW. Once you see it on the VIN of the vehicle, you know at least the engine that is supposed to be there, or the engine that the car was produced originally, was the 1.4 TU3JP engine. There's another one. The 1.4 also has something like this, which is TU3A. And that TU3A, you will find it in this 206 plus TU3A. So they are easily available. They are more common. This 206 plus. 206 plus comes mostly for the petrol engine, mostly with the TU3A and the TU1JP. That's the 1.1 liter engine and the 1.4 liter engine. So that's why I say if you're interested in 206, if you can get this one, unless maybe you are really into performance, then yeah, I would say okay, maybe go for the bigger engine. But if you're interested just normal, maybe for economy, 206 that has the most for economical engine, I would suggest you go for 206 plus. If you can find one, they look fantastic. I mean, we'll get into the interior so that you understand what I mean. So this engine, no, this one and this one. So now there's a 1.6. There are two 1.6 petrol engine there. One looks like this. Let me pull another one here. Like I said, it can be quite confusing that I might not even know which one you are dealing with. I think that is it. And this is the 1.1. So could be this one. I know the engine model is TU5 JP. It's 1.6 liter engine. They all look alike. And it's a 90 horsepower with 137 Nm, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, there's a big difference when you drive the 1.4 and the 1.6 with the of this design, because there's another 1.6 that looks completely different from this. We'll get to that later. The difference is there. I mean, if you're accelerating the car, you'll be wondering, wow, is it the same 1.4 liter? In fact, to be honest, I easily tell which one when I'm driving the 1.TU5JP and the TU3JP based on how the car accelerates. The TU3 is when I say quick, I'm not saying like performance, but it's much quicker than the TU3JP, the 1.4. And fuel consumption too, not that. Yeah, the 1.4 consume less, but then even the 1.6 very very good as well. The TU3JP. Most people don't know about that engine. They always think that 206, the only 1.6 liter engine, is the common one you find in 307, which I'm going to show you later. So one thing I will tell you is this: when it comes to this engine Well, about the 1.6 liter TU5JP, one thing I know about them, they do not have oxygen sensor attached on the exhaust manifold. They don't. Look at where the oxygen sensor is attached, under the manifold, on the exhaust pipe, under the exhaust manifold, and they don't have catalytic converters. They don't have catalytic converters. All the ones I've come across, no catalytic converters on them. So the pipe under is just straight to the manifold. So very quick and no, I won't say very quick, but very fun to drive based on the acceleration. The way it accelerates much better than the TU3JP. In other words, yeah, it's much quicker than the TU3JP. So I remember the first time I drove one, I didn't even know. I just opened the bonnet, so I said, oh, 1.4. But when I entered the car and started driving, I was like, how come this one is driving this fast? You know, it was not until I now look at the VIN, I was like, whoa, 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 you know. So that's how I knew. So if you want to identify the 206 that has the 1.6 TU5JP engine, then you see on the 6th, 7th, and 8th character on the VIN, you see NFZ. NFZ. So if you see that, you know. But then, like I said, engine can be swapped and they put 1.4, you wouldn't know. Unless you be able to identify on the body of the engine, aside this one that they all look alike like this, but then there will be something else on the engine that will be able to differentiate this from this. I don't know yet. So probably because I just don't really pay much attention on that. The other ways I can tell, but externally I'm yet to determine that. So now when it comes to the 1.1 liter engine TU1JP, TU3JP, and the TU5JP, because they all look alike, understand that their timing belts are not the same. So do not mistake because they are all the same. You go and buy timing belt without even checking. In fact, let me put it in a different way. If you are buying a used 206 with any of these engines, there's a possibility that the engine has been replaced with a wrong engine, even though it works, but what we have there might not be the correct engine, unless we are very sure that they've not touched that engine ever since the car was produced from new. Then you can use your VIN to order the timing belt or work with information on the VIN to know which timing belt model is for yours. The reason why I'm saying that is they have 101 teeth, 104 teeth, 108 teeth. I'm not sure there's 106. I know there's 101. I'm sure of 104, 108. I can't remember if there's 101 teeth or something like that. I'm talking a number of teeth on the timing belts. So if you go and take the one of 104 and put on the 101, either it will not enter or you force it in, boom. Once the engine is spin few times, it will cut and wreck your engine or slip off. Likewise, if you put 108 instead of 104, of course, you won't be able to tension it, but the belt will be loose. So once it rotates, your valves will hit the pistons, and that's the end. So what I do these days, if I want to order the timing belt for any of these engines, I don't care what the owner says. Before you place the order, you bring your engine. You will remove the belt, remove the timing belt. Pieces all this thing, access the timing belt, remove it. Count the teeth. Count it as one after the other. Manually, you count the number of the teeth. As long as it's showing there is no issue with the timing, they didn't put you can tell. A good technician can tell, So that's why I don't want to go on that, waste more time on trying to discuss. Okay, how do you know whether it's even the right belt? If it's not self, the engine will probably would have wrecked. So count. All you do is once you remove the cover, this is the timing chamber cover. You check check the timing to be sure that it's correct. If it's correct, then remove it. Count the number of the teeth. Then use that number of teeth to now go and check which TU engine that has this timing, this number of teeth on the timing for the timing belt. Then from there, I can get the part number of that belt. Then you can place your order. Simple. Or maybe, like I said, let's maybe you imported it directly and you look at the engine, there's no sign they change it. Because you could order it and bring it only to look and realize that the number of the belts are not the same. The number of the teeth of the belt are not the same. You cannot be able to return it back. The money will become waste. So this is something you need to do before you buy. Like I said, they look very alike. You can see differentiate, but I don't know yet. I'm not even sure I even want to know. It's not like the car is still, the car that I pay so much attention to. Okay, so at least now you understand all these things. These are secret people don't know, and they keep making same mistake and the rest. Reasons why some of these there are differences. The camshaft sprockets, they are not the same sizes. You could get you could get one, even 1.4. Remember, we have KSD, KFW. Then we have 1.1, 1.1 HFC. Then you have 1.6 that also looks like this. That one is NFZ, the 6th, 7th, and 8th character. You could the sprocket, the camshaft sprocket, some may have a number of teeth might be 100 or 120. This other one will be 80. This one 120. So meaning that the pet there will not be the same because of the higher number of the increase on the number of teeth on the sprocket, or maybe the size of the sprocket might be bigger. Likewise, the tensioner will also differ. And so these are the things. That's why I always say they don't come with Lola, timing Lola. Usually just the camshaft sprocket, the timing tensioner, and then the camshaft, the gears where it's been put on, and the crankshaft. So anyway, that's about it. Of course, water pump will also be so in there. I'm trying to check. I trying to think whether the 1.6 has a roller. It's possible. Can't remember. But 1.4 doesn't have. 1.4 doesn't have timing roller. Just the tensioner. I hope I'm not missing this thing. I don't think so. Anyway. Okay, so that's about it for the older versions of model 1.4. In the basically the older TU engines, let's just put TU engines in the what's it called? In the 206. So this is I've talked about this before on the 307. So this is 1.4 liter engine, which you also find in 206. This is ET3. I forgot the full name, but I know the 6th, 7th, and 8th character is KFU. So if you are buying a car, check the VIN. If the VIN is showing that these 3 characters is KFU, but this is not the engine there. Maybe the engine you are not seeing is this type. It looks like this. That means somebody, the previous owner or something, have done a conversion and changed it to this. Doesn't mean it won't work well, but at least okay, this is not the original engine. There is not up to you to find out how well was the conversion done. So it's also 1.4 liter engine, same power, 75 horsepower, 120. 120 Nm. I think it's 120 Nm torque. So I can't say about. Okay, I'll come to fuel consumption later. But the reason why I don't want to pay much attention to this engine is, if you live in Nigeria, I don't see the reason or the need for you to buy this engine. If you want to buy, you can still buy, but I don't see the need. I just don't see the need. Not the pass. You can only get the pass, used pass. So, and not every part of Nigeria can get this thing, the pass for this engine. So why not just buy the one that is more common? That's where I'm coming from. Or you want to tell me, okay, you wouldn't mind to keep importing this parts for this engine when this other one is the same thing. The fuel consumption is almost the same. Though that the other one is VVT, sha. Yeah, I think it has a VVT 79. If I'm not mistaken, or it doesn't. So basically, it's the same thing with the same power, everything. So same size. Can also get the one that you know can easily and cheaply maintain, rather than going for one you have to be importing parts. What's the point? That's what I'm saying. If you want to, it has to worth it for you to start buy a car with engine that you have to spending triple or more uh, on maintaining the car than the ones that are common in your locality. Yeah. So if the fuel consumption or power is basically the same thing with the ones that are easily available, and remember, um, technical know-how. Most technicians might not be able to know how to diagnose or fix this car since it's not common in Nigeria. So you end up even messing it up more because you'll be doing trial and error. So now you understand why I don't recommend this one. So I won't really talk about it anymore. But yeah, that option is there. That's my point. Um, so especially towards the end of the like the facilitated 206, you find them here there anyway. Okay, so that is for the last 1.4 liter. This what? Et what? I know ET3. Okay, just say ET3JP. Maybe I'm wrong. Um, but I know it's ET3 engine. So okay, so now the next 1.6 liter engine, revised 1.6 liter. This is it. This one is a revised version, which is common in 307. It's known as TU5JP4. Remember, the other one is TU5JP, but this one is added 4. So, approximately 110 horsepower, about 150 Nm. No, what's the torque? 147. It's within that range though, between 150, 140, thereabouts. So it's within that range. So you can easily tell this one. Okay, so is there any other thing I need to talk about this? So let's move on to the one for the big boys. Yeah, this one is not for those who are after full economy. These are for the big men or for men. Yeah, so this time 206. Anybody driving 206 with this 240 engine, they are not for boys. They are for fun. They burn the money of fuel. The fuel consumption not necessarily as economical as the other ones. Okay, so this is EW10J4, common in 406, 407 and the rest. 2.0 liter petrol engine. So originally this was the first 2.0 liter engine that was mounted on 206. In fact, it had a GTI badge. Then I think about 2-3 years later, so they now introduced another much more powerful 2.0 liter engine. However, this one is okay. 130, approximately 136 horsepower with 190 Nm, and so at least most people know about this engine, so I don't want to waste time talking about this. Of course, the timing difference, even the TU5JP4, I'm talking about this. The timing is also, oh, I've shut it down. Timing, timing is different as well from every other of those engines. So, okay, so now this is for the biggest boys. uh, so this is if you really want to catch your fun. No, no, this is it. So this is EW10 J4S, approximately 177 to 180 horsepower, with 202 Nm torque, and share same timing belt with this other one, the older EW10J4, or the lesser powered EW10J4 engine. This one is also EW10J4, but then it's a sports version, so that's why it has like S there added. So yeah, of course, it consumes more than every other petrol engine in 206, considering the power difference between those ones. Okay, so let's look at the interior. I think I've done enough. And the engines, the stereo. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, so this is standard 206 interior. Though not the instrument panel, but just showing you standard. So this is for automatic transmission. So this is what they look like. What I mean here, I'm just focusing more on the dashboard. Most of them will come with cassette player, but this one is CD player. Now, something I forgot to mention about this comes only in manual transmission, no automatic transmission option. Likewise, this one comes only in manual transmission, no automatic transmission. But this one, TU5JP4, it has option of manual and option of automatic transmission. TU3JP, option of manual, 5-speed manual, and automatic transmission option as well. The 1.1 liter option, oh no, only manual transmission, only 5-speed manual. Likewise, the 1.6, at least all this TU5JP, all the ones I've come across, at least about three that I have not only worked on, also driven. At least I'm telling you three, all were manual. So maybe there was automatic transmission also, I don't know about, but just telling you. So, but these other ones, so back to what I was talking about. So this one that is automatic could be the 1.4 liter or 1.6 liter with TU5JP4. So most likely it's the TU5JP because of the instrument panel. I'll come to that later. Okay, so the other interior, so this is for the manual. Okay, no, not this one. There's something I'm trying to show you. So this is for the convertible CC. So this one is obviously 2.0 EW10. No, not EW10. Is it? No, it's not EW10. This could be the 1.6 liter. Maybe the 1.6 is because of instrument panel. I'm not so sure. I'll look at it, but it's not the EW10J4S. I'm looking at this tachometer. Hope it's not the diesel. Probably. But at least you've seen the interior. So let me show you the standard instrument panel. Okay, I think that one is EW10J4. So this is like normal standard instrument panel for 206 1.4 to 2.0 like EW10J4. But those EW10J4 has you see engine oil temperature. Is it here or I think here something? So this is like, let's just leave it at 1.4, 1.1 to 1.6. This is the standard. It has cooler temperature, which 301 lacks. You can see why I say I don't like 301 instrument panel. Fuel gauge, this is trip meter, and odometer shows here when you switch on ignition and later it change to mileage. And the other warning signs by the side here. Okay, so now this is for the EW10J4. This comes still with GTL. So I think this one is convertible as well. But this comes with 206 with EW10J4. The 136 version, which to call it GTI. So they usually come with not, I would say all, but they usually come with this color. Even the steering wheel will have same color with the door cut, the seat. You see it black some places, then red some places. So that's why when I was looking at this other one, I say it shouldn't be the instrument panel shouldn't be for EW10J for the probably 1.6 since it has two automatic transmission anyway. Okay, okay. So moving on, I want you to understand why I'm showing you all this. So now this is for the EW10J4S, the 180 version instrument panel. You can see this one has up to 8,000 RPM. You can see the engine is meant to wave shit out of it up to 7,500, close to 7,300 or 7,200, compared to the EW10J4, which is 6,500. Then you stop. Which other one? That was one I opened earlier. You can see also 6,200. That is stop. Otherwise, you start entering the red zone. Okay, so yeah, so this is for the sports version, which is EW10J4S 206. The mileage, the top speed 250, though not the actual, but from this display you can tell this one can push much higher. The EW10J4 is 210, look at it, 210, could say 220 or something. Okay, so moving on, now for 206 plus. Now this is what 206 plus interior looks like. For me it looks just has better interior than the 206 standard 206. Some might argue, depending on how you want to look at it. Anyway, this one is sports version, so I can't use this one to compare it. This is like the standard one. So but when you come to this is the 206 plus. So it's like moving to 207, similar to that. So I just prefer 206 plus both the exterior, especially the exterior. In fact, I can't say much about the interior, but the exterior makes more sense to me. So this is the other side of 206 plus, another angle of the picture. The instrument panel, this is the instrument panel 206 plus. At least it also has a coolant temperature gauge, tachometers, and speedometer display, odometer display with mileage. And so, okay, I think that's about it. Now let's move to 301. I'm not going to waste time on 301. Remember, we just did publish a video recently on 301. So I'm not going to waste time here. So this is what 301 looks like. First model, first production, the rear view, facilitated model 2017 upward. I don't really want to waste much time on 301. The interior, so which makes a lot of sense. Looks much better than 206. Well, depending on which how you want to look at it. Much bigger. Anyway, we'll come to that. Rear view for the facilitated model. And so let's talk about the engine. So this is the 1.2 liter PureTech EB2 engine. So 80 horsepower and 120 Nm torque, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so that's about it. 3-cylinder engine. So this is 1.6 liter engine, VTI 1.6 liter engine, which is EC5. 150 horsepower with about 150 Nm torque. So that's about it. Yeah. Okay. Now let's do the actual comparison here. The main thing. Now let's start from this and the 206. This and this. Again, look at it. This and this. Now let me put it in a better way. This has almost the same size with 206. Almost the same size, yet much bigger, spacious, look newer, and fuel consumption almost the same. I'm talking about, okay, remove 2.0 liter engine from 206. Remove them. Those ones are sports version, including EW10 J4. Remove the two. So, newer is 2012 to 2017 date, sort of. Newer, bigger, especially the boot space. This has about 640 liters, while 206 is about 300 and something liters. Is it up to 300? Two something, or 300? I don't know, depending. Like hatchback, I didn't check that of the saloon. It will be much smaller or something. Yeah, in fact, I'm not even sure it was up to 300. I think like 250. There about liters. I'm talking about 206. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about this one. So, why this has so much space in the boot? More comfortable to sit on compared to 206 that is much smaller. Much more smaller. I don't really find it comfortable driving 206 for too long for someone with my height. So now the 1.1 liter, this 206 with 1.1 liter, the weight is about 980 kg. While 301, the 301 with 1.2 liter three-cylinder engine is about nine. No, the 206 1.1 liter is 985 kg. This one, as big as it is compared to 206, is 980 kg with what 3 liter three-cylinder 1.2 liter engine. But you know one funny thing, bigger has more power. This one is 80 horsepower. The 206 is 1.1 liter is 60 horsepower. So this is 80. Also has more torque, about one something torque, 120 or thereabout. Yet it consumes way more less fuel than the 206 with 1.1. This one is about 4 point something liter, 4.3 liters. 206 is about 5.5, 5 point. Let me just leave it at 5 liter per 100 kilometer. This is 4.3 per 100 kilometer. So in other words, this is about 67 miles per gallon UK, while 206 with that 1.1 is like 57 miles per gallon. So almost like 10 difference. Yet it has more space, bigger, newer. And purchase costs are basically almost the same now. At least talking about Nigeria use of this, if not even cheaper. Now let's talk about 1.6 on both engines. I don't want to talk about 1.6 of the automatic. It consumes quite more than the manual. So now, if you have to use the manual of 206 with 1.4 for 1.6 liter engine, the TU5JP for let's work with that. That one consumes the least among the two 1.6 liter engine. You could say that one takes about manual is about 5 point, let's just say 5.2 liters. This one is like okay, manual is actually consume almost the same. Funny enough, it consume almost the same with the 1.1 liter, just a little bit different. Okay, I jumped to 1.4. Okay, 1.5 and 1.1 for 206, they are basically the same fuel consumption. So let's not go there, except the automatic. So in other words, I'm comparing this 1.2 three-cylinder 301 with 1.4, since it's even the most common one here in Nigeria. This one still consume less fuel, more powerful, bigger, name it. And if your car is not taking almost at the same price, depending, foreign imported, Nigerian use. I'm not saying if you import this one to be the same price. I'm just saying an average, depending on what you want to spend. Now 1.6, now I will tell you 1.6, this one has more power. Remember I mentioned this is about 115 horsepower. The one in 206 is 107 to 110 horsepower. This 150 Nm. That one is also, I don't know, both are basically the same power, actually, kind of the same power, so no more difference in terms of power. Fuel consumption, I'm trying to remember, but I know in terms of which is faster, 206 is faster. 206 is faster. Now the 1.2 liter engine is faster for the 301 is faster than the 206. What I wrote it somewhere. Hold on. I wrote it down somewhere. I know I thought I did this thing. Okay. 5.7 liters, 55 miles per gallon for 1.6 liter in 206 UK, while 1.6 this is 54. So 206 consume less for the 1.6, but for the 1.2 and 1.4 in 1.2 in 301 and 1.4 in 206, including the 1.1 in 206. The 301 consume way much lower. 67 miles per gallon, like I mentioned earlier, in the 1.2 301, and the 1.4 and 1.1 in 206, about 57 miles per gallon, both, as far as their manual transmission. However, which is fast, which is quicker, both are almost the same. Actually, I'm mistaken. Both they are about 14 seconds car, 0 to 100, so they are not fast. They are not quick cars at all. So now for the 1.6, the 301 consume a little bit more than the 206 with 1.6 as well. So 206 consume 55 miles per gallon, while 1.6 in 301 is 54. So just one difference, 1 liter difference. Now, which is faster or quicker? Hold on. 206 is quicker. About 206 is 2 seconds. 1.6 liter motor is 10 seconds. I mean, while the 301 is 12 seconds. So yeah. So I'm not going to go to the 2.0. Remember, 2.0 they are meant for sports or fun. So of course they will be much more quicker. But of course we consume more fuel than 301, so no need to compare them. I only wanted to show you people to know, okay, these engines exist in 206. We want to go for them. Don't complain of fuel consumption. So I'm not saying this way high from the rest of the other 206, but don't expect it to be fuel economical like the other ones. So verdict, which one makes sense? Let's start with how rugged. Now 206 suspension and 301 suspension, they are not rugged. So for me, if you ask me, I prefer 301 suspension to 206 suspension. If I were to choose, I'll go for 301. In terms of, okay, I need a car, the suspension is very rugged, or more rugged or better, that can be to handle bad road much better. I'll go for 301, not 206. 206 front suspension, rear suspension, they are not the best. The rear cross member is horrible. Every now and then you are changing them. It appears they can be fixed. Those who don't understand what I mean in Nigeria, most people don't know what the actual technical name, the one they call back camber, that's what I mean. It's a cross member. That rear cross member is very bad or weakness of 206. Likewise, the front end, the lower wishbone, the front suspension wishbone, which they also regard as lower arm, has one kind of bad design. To even remove it, it might not concern you because you are not the technician, not the one doing the work. Those of us doing the work is one of the worst work I like to do, or I want to, I hate doing. Changing lower arm on 206. Wow. And they also attached the ball joint on it. It's permanently on it. So your lower arm might still be good, but because your ball joints are weak, you have to change the lower arm. 301, same thing, same design, but at least it's not that hard to change the remove the lower arm compared to the 206. And then the rear cross member in 301, they don't really suffer that problem. No, they don't. That the idea of before you know it, you give the car a load, they don't suffer that. It's 301 that is notorious for that. Now there are complaints for one or two persons, I don't know. They said that the 301 rear hub can break up, can break and pull off, depending on how bad you drive on bad roads. You can break it, and your tire will fly off. That's the claim, but it's not necessary. I haven't really confirmed. Just one or two persons that made that claim, so it's most likely false. Who knows? Maybe something was not tied properly. So I only heard it from two persons. They claim that's what people were saying. I don't know. I haven't personally experienced it. So, and the other technicians I asked said no, they've never heard of that. So, so yeah, I'll choose 301 over 206 based on the suspension. I will still go for 301. Not because 301 doesn't suffer, but compared to 206, no. At least you gain a lot too. Both of them are not cheaper to maintain, sort of. In fact, 301 appears even cheaper to maintain, so suspension-wise in Nigeria. So, the only time you might be saying is maybe if you need to change the shock absorber for 301, yeah, you could say, okay, but they are available new one anyway, so you might not easily get used one. But okay, moving on. I'm talking about for fuel economy, pure fuel economy. Remove the sports version of 206 because 307, 301 is not made for sports, not made for fun. It's made. These are cars that this 206 1.6 downwards are meant for fuel economy. Likewise, all 301 petrol engines. So that's where I'm focusing on. Now, engine wise, for this 301 and 206 1.6 downward, for someone like me, I will go for the 301. Yes, because I know I can maintain the engine and it stays like that decade after decade. I won't be worried about timing belt my cut and damage my valves. I won't be able to I won't be able to get the engine replacement or get valve to replace. Or I won't be worried that I'll use the wrong oil to grind the engine, start smoking before you know it. I won't be worried that my cooling system might start having problems, this and that. So there are so many reasons why I know I'll go for 3 because number one, the comfortability behind the steering wheel has more space. You stretch your leg very well. The boot, massive. People like me, I carry a lot of things most of the time in my boot. If my cars were 4-cylinder, man, the kind of fuel consumption my cars will consume would be out of this world. I carry quite a lot of things, most tools, this and that. So I kind of my car, basically like mobile workshop. So so I think that will serve that purpose to be able to fill almost 640 liters. Even without the figure, even maybe the figure is not correct, but that's what Peugeot claimed actually. So it is Pan Nigeria claimed that. So at least I can, if you open it, you see how massive the boot is. You can pack in so many things, and so that space is enough. It's attracts me compared to a smaller hatchback, much smaller. Even the 307, I think 307 has much bigger space in the boot compared to 206. 206, you can tell it's a small, they call it, what's it even called? Hot hatches. These are small hatchbacks. Then later they decided to do station wagon. Maybe it was actually in the same line during the production of hatchback. But the station wagon, the boot still is not necessarily that deep. Then likewise, they did the convertible doesn't even have anything like boot space. So forget it. I'm talking about looking for boot space. Forget the convertible. It has none. Then The saloon. Okay, you've seen it now, so I can't really say the size of the boot. Um, I don't know for sure. Where is it? Doesn't look like it will contain much. It could, but there's more tiny cap. So 301 still beats all these cars. So yeah, as well. It looks more outside, but man, once you open the boot, whoa, whoa, whoa. So here is my thing. A lot of Nigerians, because of the high cost of fuel, are focusing so much on 307, no, 206, and they are missing out on 301. Don't get me wrong, remember in the one comparison between 307 and 301, I chose 307 and gave you my reasons. And there's even one against some people buying 301. If you are not the type that can maintain car properly, stay away from 301. Yeah. So, but when you look at it actually, because most people in Nigeria, they buy 206 manual. Imagine if you now go for the 301 manual, because that's where I'm coming from. I want people to actually understand this thing. You go for 301 with this engine, the fuel consumption you're getting will be almost the same, if not more than some diesel engines. I'm talking about 4 almost 4 liters per 100 kilometers or 67 miles per gallon. Oh, yes, it doesn't have much power, but at least the power is higher. See, it even has less weight than 206 with 1.4 liter or 1.1 liter. It has less weight. In fact, it has less weight, this is 980 kg. The 206 with 1.4 liter is about 1025 kg. So it has less weight, even though it's bigger. So it's bigger, has less weight, has more power, and still consumes less. Where the difference and the margin is very significant. So I bet you this car will be most like the cheapest car. Well, I won't say the cheapest car in Nigeria, but one of the cheapest used car in Nigeria, because people tend to run away from this one. There are not that many, actually. They are there, but let's look for them. The only thing you will not solve, if you know you have to be the type that knows how to maintain cars, that is the only way you can enjoy this car. As long as you are not pushing it out, knowing that, see, the power is not meant for you to race the car. Don't buy this car if you are the type that like racing cars. Even the 1.4, they are not meant for racing anyway. If you race them like that, you kill your engine. There are no tools about it. They are tiny engines. So it's not that hard to maintain this car if you are somebody like me. You don't need to even have all the technical knowledge or how to repair cars. It's about how to prevent issues from happening by not messing up your car. For example, the weight timing belts they use, which I say is a very big flaw or bad design. You can check it. All you need to remove this oil filler cap every once in a while. Look into it, maybe once in 6 months or once in 3 months. Or anytime I want to change the oil or I want to top up oil, remove it. The timing belt is directly under it here, somewhere under it here. As you remove it, you'll be seeing the timing belt. So if you are starting to disintegrate or started peeling, you will see it. That way you prevent it from, most times they don't even cut. The way they design them, they're actually more stronger than the one that works in a dry chamber. But just that the surface of it, the back of it, the oil degrades it over time. So it starts to peel, and the pieces of it will now start settling on the oil pump. You remember the oil pump will suck in fuel and the rest. So you go and block it, and then start getting insufficient oil pressure warning. And most times you don't even need to change your oil pump. All you need is remove your oil pump, fully remove the pump, clean it off, wash up the engine, change the oil, put everything back. That's it. The money goes away. If you leave it and keep using it at that, then it will starve the oil circulation and kaboom. It may even eventually weaken the engine oil pump. So you're now looking at huge cost of repair. So that's it. Okay, fine, you're scared. You don't want to do all those things. Now, the 1.6 liter, where is it? I forgot it. The 1.6 liter in 301. Sure, I would say it has more power than the 206 one, but the 206 one consume much less. Because the 206 weigh less than this one. But if you go for 206 automatic, it most likely will consume almost the same with this one. I'm only referring to 206 manual. That's the only one that weigh less than this and consume less fuel than this one, 301 with this engine. Remember, they are basically almost same weight and the rest. It's only the transmission, because this one comes with though I even check the 6-speed automatic for the 301. Maybe it might even be consume less fuel than the one in 206 manual, but I doubt. But the difference is not that much. Remember, 206 is 55 miles per gallon. This one is 54 miles per gallon. So come on, is it that additional 1 liter for 100 kilometers that will make you poor? So if you have time for economy, just consider 301 as well. But just that one thing I would say, when it comes to 301, you now have to take special care. When it comes to owning a 301, you must not abuse the engine. 206 can take some abuse, fine. It will still deal with you over time, but this one will not. Then you have to also enjoy, newer gadgets and the rest. It's bigger. I'm looking at the space. The space, and this one is even more prestigious. I'm not, of course, it's a small, it's not a luxury car or anything, but compared to 206, yeah, this one you can't compare it now. Can't compare this to in terms of, we are talking about class. Let's talk about class. Can't compare this to 206. It's much higher. Come on. As good as 206 is, they are not the same way. The only time you don't say, oh no, you have to be 206, like you after performance, you don't really care much about full economy. You step up, like I say, for the big boys, for the big you step up, man. Yeah, it is. You brought the goddamn fuel and have some fun. It'll be difficult for you to save fuel in this car, because it can be very intoxicating not to push it hard. So that's what I'm saying. That's why you can. Or maybe you really like which one? Which one I'm trying to remember. You really want. Then go for this. Based on the look. Interior. When you look at the dashboard, you can say it kind of look as if there's no much difference between this and this interior and that of 206. There could be. Forget the picture. 206 actually, sometimes when you enter it, it looks so, I don't know. I don't fancy the interior anymore. So this one, I'm not even so much interested in the interior, but the exterior, wow, it makes a lot of sense. It makes so many sense, so much. I do see, each time I see it. Remember, was the time I would have purchased it for someone. Eventually, I just had to walk away. The body was kind of messed up. But I enjoy looking at this car. Once you see a clean one. That's what I will consider. But if you are talking about fun drive, fine, 206, 2.0, fuel economy, Eh, I'll be surprised. I'll go for the EW, the 301. I'm not interested in any of these cars. Don't say I'm telling you I'm any of them. I'm just saying I know majority, I'm being objective. I'm being professional as best as I can. People want fuel economy. Who are going for this car, majority are after fuel economy. So I'm giving you two options. Stop looking at 301 because it's bigger, thinking that the fuel economy or fuel consumption will be much higher. Trust me, even consume, if you are going to look at it objectively, I'll tell you, you consume less compared to the size and everything. For the 1.6, both of the vehicle, 1.6 liter engine. And that, I can tell you, if you go by automatic, say, you'll be surprised that the automatic. Wait, I think I'll tell you somewhere. Let's look at the automatic 1.6 in 307. Um, I'm not sure I noted it. Okay, I did. The automatic transmission with TU5JP for 1.6 in 206 consume 5.7 liters per 100 kilometers, while the same 301 with a 1.6 liter automatic consume 5.2 liters. So 5.7. Wait. Hmm. So in other words, look at it. 5.2 liters per 100 kilometers for 301, 206 with same 1.6 liter consumes 5.7 liters. So in other words, the 301 actually consume less. Since we are comparing, in fact, what you find in Nigeria is automatic 301. So if you are the type that are going for 206 with 1.6 liter automatic, so 301 even consume much less. 5.2 liter per against versus 5.7. I won't say the margin side, but it consumes less. And yet you have better space, this and that, big room. In terms of class, it's much higher than 206. Because 206 is older car. So people like me we don't care about age of vehicle too. But I know some people, they prefer cars that are newer so that you elevate them in terms of class, something like that. So these are your options. That's what I'm saying. Maintenance costs, I've said about the suspension. Both of them, let's just say both of them, they are it costs you almost the same in terms of maintenance. In fact, I bet 301 may even cost you less to maintain. I'm not saying certainly, but based on what I've been doing repairs on these cars, suspension wise, that I can tell you 206 is not better in terms of JDT, as in which one is more work and which one no. I will take 301 over 206 in terms of suspension. Most people will not understand it. They'll be like, what are you saying? Yeah, to everybody driving it, it's not rugged. The suspension, no. Compared to 307, 406, it's not. If you like, you can live in denial. I can tell you, just because people live with noise, they drive cars, and every part of the car will just be shaking as if it wants to fall out. And because he hasn't pulled out, to them, the suspension is rugged. Go and drive this other two I mentioned. 307 is a little bit not as fragile as this other one, but 406, man, come on, can't compare it to these ones. So that's what I'm saying. When you turn 206 is not. The suspension is it's probably fragile or very poor. So 301, same thing. Engine wise, maintain your 301, you won't have any problem with that. Yeah. So what else? Electrical. Two of them are, yeah, 301 is newer, so electrical may be a little bit more complex. Don't abuse it, then you enjoy the car. So 206, yeah, you can abuse it until you get a point to deal with. Ask many people now, they know, can tell you. 206, if I start to tell you their own electrical issues when you abuse them. Yeah, whole video will not end. Okay, so you have your options. As an expert on Peugeot, living in Nigeria, I think I will recommend 301 for someone specifically after fuel economy, you know. But unless maybe it has to be manual and they don't want three-cylinder engine, then you can import the 301 with 1.6 liter engine, import the manual if you can find it. Or you have to go for the three-cylinder. If you don't like it, then go for 206. But if it's automatic, if you buy an automatic, if it must be automatic 206, no, the automatic of any of these cars, go for 301. It will consume less, it will carry more load, it will do so many things, just way better. Let's say some people just like much smaller cars. That's who they are. Doesn't matter which is more for economical. They just want so it's a tiny small car. They find it more appealing. So I'm trying to preach them. 301 is also small, but it's almost the same size with 307. It looks like a little bit bigger than 307. Yet they really did a good thing on 301 in terms of size. It's not meant for sport, so don't enter express and start to drive a James Bond on the road. Remember the weight is a very light vehicle, so it's for economical car. So it's not meant for that kind of drive. Otherwise, you kill yourself. You know, 307 put some weight, which is okay, but too much. Okay, too much for a hatchback. I know there are some advantages of having weight, a little bit more weight on a car, but then when it becomes too much, then too much. It doesn't want it. Especially when you don't put engine that will be enough to give you that performance with that additional extra weight. But then it's hatchback, it's not meant to be have that, because most people that buy hatchback is also they are looking at cars that they will spend less in fueling the vehicle compared to bigger saloon, luxury, bigger cars and the rest. Okay, so that's it. So you can start looking into 301 though, but don't buy a messed up one because I'm recommending it if you're after for economy. All right.